Adventure in Pipeman on W4CY Radio.
Yo, it's Pipeman here, and I'm very excited about our next guest because what a killer artist and with some killer new music. So let's welcome to the show Sam from the Midnight Devils. How are you?
What's going on, Pipeman? It is great to be back here. And man, it's good to see you. How's everything going with you?
Oh, it's good. I just got back from LA, and before that I was in prison at Shawshank Prison for Incarceration Festival.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, what a cool place to have a music festival, but a haunted, closed down prison where the Shawshank Redemption was filmed.
I saw a ton of videos, and it looks like maybe the coolest festival in the United States.
I know, right?
Yeah.
So the first time I ever did that festival years ago, I was outside taking a picture of this prison. Some other dudes taking a picture, and he was in one of the bands playing, and he goes, "Hey, can you take my picture and I'll take your picture?" And he goes, "Look at us, we're fanboying out on Shawshank Prison."
That's pretty cool, though.
Yeah, totally cool. And then I'm going next week to UK for Bloodstock Festival, which is another cool festival.
Dude, that's gonna be huge. Who's the headliner on that?
You know,
who are you most excited to see?
I fucking forget who the headliner is because I've been on tour doing festivals since like February. So it all swirls around my head, but I am totally looking forward to Lacuna Coil because I love them and they are playing at Bloodstock.
That's going to be a
bunch of killer bands.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't play favorites because I got a shitload of interviews. So I love them. I have to say I love them all.
You're going to be working, but that's good. That's a good thing.
And you've been working too because you got some killer new music. So let's talk about that.
Dude, yes, we've been traveling. We released our third record called So Hard It Hurts on July 4th or July 5th of 2024. And basically since then, we've been touring our asses off. We've been going hard. We did Australia. We did Japan for the first time. We did the UK. We did Norway. We did all these great places. Then we came back to the USA. In January, we kicked off we did 4 legs of a USA tour from January to July. So nice. Kind of brought it around all the way to about a year since we released this record. And right at about a year, we released the second single, which is called Shock the World. Brand new music video out on YouTube right now. The tour just was incredible. And everywhere we went, it's the first time we've been in the USA in 2 years that we played shows in the USA.
Wow.
And just like from January to July, we just went out and partied for that 4 or 5 months.
Nice. Where was your favorite place to play in the US?
It's hard to say, man. Like it's just so cool being back. Like we did Florida, we did Myrtle Beach, we did New Orleans, we did Nashville twice, we did upstate New York, we did Phoenix, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, like all these cool places. So it's like anywhere that the weed is legal, I think is our favorite place.
I love it. You know what's kind of cool about that nowadays is, in the old days, when you go on tour, if you were getting on planes, you were kind of screwed.
Yep.
Now it's just you get on a plane, you go somewhere, you stop at the dispensary on the way to the gig.
It's perfect. And I think in Nebraska, which is where the Midnight Devil Sniper and I, the guitar player, and I are located here in Nebraska, is still a holdout. And so weed is still illegal here. But basically anywhere else we go, it's legal, so it's fine.
I know it's wild when it's your own hometown. Well, here in Florida, medical is legal, but not rec. But the ridiculous thing about medical is you could go in and say, "I stubbed my toe," and they'll give you the prescription.
Yep. It's all bureaucrats and politics, and hey, we just want to get high, everybody. Let's stop all the nonsense. But there's money to be made, and at the end of the day, that's what it's all about.
Yeah, I mean, I was just talking about that recently. That like it was better when you had the drug dealers selling weed, because now that the government's taken over, like the shit has all kinds of man-made stuff in it, and they're collecting all kinds of taxes, and they're making shitloads of money. And if they do something good with that money, that'll be great.
Here's the deal. Here's what we've traded. And I think I figured this out. So now we pay higher taxes for our weed because we go to a dispensary and buy it. Back in the olden days, you had to go to your buddy's house and go down into a smelly basement and play video games with him and chit chat with him for an hour and a half to get the same amount of weed. So that was the tax. So we got rid of that, hanging out with your buddy or the weird guy on the street corner. Now we just have to pay the high taxes to go to the dispensary. It's a give and take relationship.
Well, it's so funny you should say that, because the last person that I did that with is so true. I was at his house for like 2 hours, and it's like exactly. I wanted to get out of there. I just wanted to do what I needed to do and leave. Or it was drive. My dad used to, when I was a teenager, my dad used to have me drive into East LA.
Okay.
And I was like, listen, I have no business being in East LA, but okay. I drove into East LA, and you pull up to the street corner and you just yell out the window, mota, mota, mota. And like every Mexican drug dealer in East LA swarms your car. And I'm thinking to myself now, looking back on that, like I didn't even think about it then.
No.
I'm looking like, wow, that was kind of stupid.
Taking some liberties, but and that's the cool thing is that we're coming around now to seeing the benefits of all of this, and it's cool. It's all good though.
Yeah, you know what? The fact of the matter is, why should all these opioids be legal? Because Big Pharma doles it out and weed not. That's my
right. And nobody's going to jail over weed, and that's just fine. And it seems to make everything better. And we've been such big proponents of it, anywhere we go, that it's a really cool thing. We're all recovering alcoholics, all three of us.
It's better.
Right. Recovering alcoholics, 15 years,
Wow.
And so we've kind of, especially, me personally, where it was like, I couldn't sleep and I couldn't do anything, and I couldn't take drugs because I'd given that up. So weed kind of became this thing that helped my mind, I guess, ease my mind.
Well, you know what? As somebody who rarely drinks and had a father who was an alcoholic and 2 ex-wives as alcoholics, I see no reason why alcohol should be legal and marijuana not legal. I mean, listen, fucking debauchery that comes from alcohol.
Yep.
Like, you get stoned, you're too lazy to do anything stupid. You're too lazy to get into a fight with somebody.
Right.
Like, how many times do you hear of, like, have you ever heard of, like, in Amsterdam, in one of the coffee houses of a fight? No.
But we went there. I'll tell you this, Pipeman, we went there, and I even got stories of Amsterdam. We went there with enough's enough.
Nice. Oh boy, that was
enough. Took us to Amsterdam with Jimmy Mess, our drummer, who lived there for he lived there for a few years. But Chip took us to Amsterdam, and we walk into the coffee shop, and his picture's on the wall. Like he was a celebrity walk. And so they cleared out the spot on the, the place is completely packed. They clear out a table and they sit us down like we're royalty there. Chip's enough in Amsterdam. It was one of the coolest things we've ever done.
That's so funny. Like, okay, so every professional stoner that I know, like, gets stupid in Amsterdam.
Yeah.
Like they could totally have high tolerance here. Like I have a friend, she's the most professional stoner I know. From the minute she wakes up to the minute she goes to bed, and it's like the strongest shit there is.
Mm-hmm.
She face planked in Amsterdam the first time she went. Me, okay, so I was married for 12 years, and my wife never knew if I smoked or not, because like, I just turned into a normal person instead of like 10 million miles per hour.
Right.
And so we go to Amsterdam, we get off the red eye. This was like 28 years ago. And Like she wants to go to the hotel because we just got off the red eye. I'm like, you're
Sure.
out of your mind. I just arrived in Amsterdam. I'm not going to a hotel yet. The first place I'm going is a coffee house. Now, remember, then there was nowhere that was legal in the U.S., so
Oh,
that was
yeah,
the place
sure.
to go.
Sure.
So we went during the Cannabis Cup, and so
I
we
like where
go
the
in.
story's going already.
I know, right? We go into the Grasshopper, which is now just basically a restaurant now, but then it was the place to go. And you had like the downstairs and the upstairs. The upstairs was for alcohol, downstairs was for pot.
Mhm.
And it was like going to a restaurant. You sat at a table, they brought you a menu, and your server, like, he wasn't a bud tender, he was a server. Like
Sure.
he gave you all day and taking your order like you're
Coffee.
ordering a meal, you know?
Right.
And so anyway, I'm like, okay, when we first get there, I'm like, what do you have that's mellow? Give that to me. He's like, okay, here you go. That was the pre-gaming. So he gave me some Jamaican or whatever. And then I said, okay, now give me the best shit you have, the stuff that won the cup. And see that there was a bong over there that was like taller than me. I'm like, see that bong? I want that. And so I took one hit off that bong. The shit was called White Weirdo. Okay.
Sure.
We go out to eat at a restaurant, a Chinese restaurant. I'll never forget it. And I'm looking at the menu. I look up at my wife and I'm like, yeah, I can't do this. She's like, what are you talking about? She had no clue why, but I'm like, I just can't do this. Like, please, God, I am so high. I just want to come down, please. And no, I can't order anything off this menu. Like, I'm over it.
Do you guys have mozzarella sticks at the Chinese restaurant? Because that's what I need right now.
I know, right? Exactly. Do you have some brownie a la mode for me, please? What about those Amsterdam pastries? But it was like, oh man, I just couldn't believe it. How I have other stories too, like other places. Like, have you been to Christiana?
No, not yet.
Oh, okay.
I know what you're talking about, but we have not been there yet.
Oh, so it's pretty cool because in Denmark it's illegal. People think it's legal because of Christiana.
Mhm.
Christiana is just this old hippie commune that like is grandfathered in that they don't have to follow the laws of Denmark. They're like a self-sustaining community. And so you go in and there's like a gateway to walk in and you literally just walked into the 60s, man.
Wow.
And there's painting, there's paint art, and murals everywhere, but there's murals that have like cameras, like a picture of a camera, a painting of a camera. Don't take pictures. That's why you don't see it anywhere on the internet. Like you walk in and nobody wants to take you to take pictures, and you buy your weed from the police station.
Wow, that's
right.
Crazy. All right.
So there's all kinds of cool places in the world like that. Like Bali. Have you been to Bali?
I've not been to Bali, but we went to we're headed to Australia, and that's been like a weird one for us. Our record label's out of there, but it's still illegal in Australia, except for in like the capital city. I believe it's called Canberra.
Right.
And
so
kind of, you can grow it there, I think.
And in Indonesia, it's very illegal. Like
very much.
They will catch you. They will bring you out to the beach and shoot your ass. Like just like that. But then you have the Gili Islands, which are right off of Bali, and they are like Christian. They're part of Indonesia, but Indonesia does not govern them at all. They have no police on the islands, and you go and you go on the island. There's no vehicles, and there's like makeshift shacks along the beach, whether you want to buy pot or mushrooms.
Whoa.
And there's no problem with it, but don't bring it back to the mainland.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
There's so many weird shit like that in the world. It's kind of cool that America has finally come around to let people feel better.
It is. And you know what the weird thing is that as an American rock band, we will tour all over the world, right? And we go to these places, Australia, Sydney, and they go, okay, well, what do you guys want on your rider? What are you drinking tonight? It's all on the house. And we're like, we don't drink. They're like, They look at us like we're aliens. You don't drink.
I know, right?
You're a rock band that doesn't drink. I go, yeah, it's weird. Like we had to stop drinking. That's weird that there's not more rock bands that have had to stop drinking. Like we can't be the only ones that overdid it in our younger days, right?
Well, look at who we just lost recently, and boy, did he overdo it.
Boy, he wrote the book on overdoing it. I think
I don't even know how he lasted to 76, man. He's on my shirt here. He's in the background there somewhere, man.
Dude,
but
I hear the stories. What boggles my mind is that I hear the stories about how messed up he was and how he'd be held up in hotels and stuff and just the worst possible shape ever. But he's Ozzy Osbourne. He's still out there like creating these amazing albums and
right
on tour I'm like, how is he getting this stuff done while being at the lowest point in his life? I don't understand. That's a testament to how great he was.
Testament to him and Sharon too.
Yes,
if it weren't for her, so yeah, I mean, like it is kind of wild. They just had his funeral procession, and yeah, and it was kind of cool. Like how much I love that the King of and the Prince of Darkness is so beloved and considered such a great human being throughout the world. Because when I was in high school, I remember I was wearing a Ozzy Diary of Madman shirt. I saw Randy live, and when I went to school the next day, like this girl I knew, she's like, "Oh, you're a devil worshiper. Like you were the bad person because you listened to Ozzy." Okay, and look at what he has done. So you wouldn't be playing today if it weren't for Ozzy. Probably
not one bit.
Every artist there is.
I have the same story. Who doesn't have that same story? Where it's like, man, when we were kids, if you had an Ozzy album or you listened to Ozzy, the parents, the teachers, everybody would come down on you thinking you were a devil worshiper, that you were going to hell, or that you were doing something sacrilegious. And that was always it. And at the end, all that did was make me more into the music and make me more into it. And I had to find out more, and I had to, but that's what drew me in. So it was like had the opposite effect.
No doubt. Yeah. Listen, it's funny you mentioned teachers, because I had a history class in high school that the history teacher, I don't know, left or whatever. So they had to put somebody in quick. They put in the music teacher.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And so he was like, one assignment for the whole semester, and that's your whole grade. Other than that, I don't give a fuck what you do.
No.
And you could do it on any subject. You got to do an oral presentation on any subject. Doesn't matter what it is. And I did mine, and I got an A in the class. Ozzy Osbourne's Satanism in his music.
Love that. I love that.
Right. And I brought in props. Like I brought in shirts and all my swag, and I brought in Diary of a Madman and started playing it, and started playing Mr. Crowley in the classroom, and like, I mean, it's just amazing. He was everywhere.
It's so cool, and he was such an influence on me. And I work at a bar, so I'm a strip club DJ, right? And my when we're not touring is what I do, is we work at a strip club every night of the week. The day he died, I walk into the strip club, and there's people there like waiting for me to roll into. All I wanted to do is talk about Ozzy, right? And I think that's such a cool thing, because in a strip club you don't play a whole lot of Ozzy. Now I do, but normal strip clubs, that's not a thing. And people just wanted to talk about Ozzy, and there were guys there waiting. I go, for me, Ozzy was like, it was before the Osbournes came out.
Yeah.
He was still he was still this guy, this kind of this enigma that you listened to him and you felt like he understood, and that he got it, and that by listening to him, he understood what the plight that I was going through, and it helped me get through it. And all these things, like Ozzy was one of us, and we got all that, and the parents didn't understand, but people that listened to Ozzy in that time, they got it, and they understood it. And now after the Osbournes came out and he kind of became this household name, it felt a little different than it did back in the day when he wasn't such a national or an internationally known figure, like a reality TV star.
Right.
But before that, he was like our metal like leader almost. He was like a Ronnie James Dio. It was the same,
Oh, 100%. And it's funny because he did that other show with Jack where they went on the road.
That one was good.
I love that show. But what was amazing about that, after decades of thinking that he was banned from the Alamo, he found out he was so fucking drunk that it never happened.
I loved it. I loved the story. The whole thing was great. I couldn't stop watching it.
Right? You know, and it's funny because here where I am in West Palm Beach, Florida, another radio personality I'm friends with that used to be here years ago, but the station doesn't exist anymore. I just saw him at incarceration because he's up in that area. And we were talking about it. It's weird because we were talking about, I remember when he gave Ozzy a key to the city. So right here where I live, Ozzy was given a key to the city.
And you know what the crazy thing is? And I don't even know if if we talked about this or not, but we recorded our album right there in West Palm Beach, basically Boynton Beach.
Oh, wow. See, I don't remember if we talked about that, but yeah, that's not far at all.
So January of 2024, we were there recording the record with Rick Browdy, who was the producer, Cher Ross from Vixen, and Bam Ross. They all live right there. And Rick Browdy did the Poison record and the Ted Nugent record. He did the first Poison record and Ted Nugent Double Live Gonzo. And they all live right there, like within, a block of each other in Boynton Beach. And we flew in and did the record right there in January.
Nice. So, see, you should get a key to the city too.
I would love that. We actually love it down there. We think it's really cool. Like there's a little, the little Cuban coffee places and all that. Like, just love it there.
See, now, somebody like me that lives here is originally from New York and New Jersey and then lived in the 80s, starting 1980 in LA.
Yeah.
I wish I could say the same to you about Nebraska.
I feel Nebraska. Nebraska's so weird and it's like it's mine, and that's how I feel. Like nobody else. Everybody talks so much crap about it, but like a week ago, and I'll tell you this: like this has nothing to do with anything except for that. Everybody talks shit about Nebraska, but I love it. We went to a weed field in the middle of Nebraska, and I'm not joking. It was the coolest thing I have ever seen. Like you're out in it's just like God just saying, "Hello, I'm here." It's everything. Okay.
So here's what I'm imagining. Do you guys like sit there and, of course, I have to make it funny, but do you guys sit there after you're in the weed field?
Yeah.
Do you then walk across the street and because you have the munchies to the cornfield and eat the corn?
We just shoot the cow right there on the other field and cook them, start frying them up.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So tell us more about your music for listeners that don't know who you are.
Yeah.
And especially the live show. Explain what kind of experience that would be, because I love the video, and to me it shows how fun it is to be at one of your live shows.
Yeah, absolutely. The Midnight Devils are an international touring glam slam party rock and roll band. I think that's the best way to completely describe what we do. We are it's just party rock and roll. People ask what it is. It's going out there, having a good time, doing what you love, regardless of what anybody else says. I grew up listening to Kiss. Our guitar player loves Van Halen, and his name's Chris Heinlein, Sniper, and our drummer Jimmy Mess loves the Ramones. So you can imagine all three of those bands mixed together, and you slap it, put it on the road. It's loud, guitar-driven party rock and roll. That's what it is, about having a good time and really nothing but. No doubt.
And it brings us back to times when it was just fun and not all the bullshit we have to deal with now. And that's what I love about it. That's what music should do. It should take you to good times, fun times, and just have those euphoric feelings just from the music.
Right. And we completely agree. I think there's so many bands that take it so seriously. And it's very, there's not a lot of bands that have fun. And I think that's kind of the thing that we've always been about, it, that it's not just us that's having a good time on stage. Because let me tell you, we're having a blast out there. We've been touring now for almost 10 years. Come up in 2 years, we're celebrating a decade of the Midnight Devils. I don't even know if you can believe that. Like, we started this in the basement in Nebraska, and now we're headed to Brisbane, Australia in November. Those are really cool things for me. But really, it's all because we have so much fun as a band, as a live show that travels around. Like, we love touring, we love putting out records, we love doing all this stuff. It's just this creative freedom to be and do whatever you want. And I think that's kind of lost in this music. There's nobody else doing it. There's nobody else putting on the lipstick, spiking up the hair, playing loud guitars. It's unapologetic, and it's what's needed in just such a kind of a crazy time right now.
Oh, no doubt about it, because it is just fun. It's, and the fact is even though you're a musician, you're an entertainer too. So when you're playing on a live show, it's a performance.
Yep.
There's bands that I never really liked till I saw their live show. And then there's other bands that I love that when their live show is like, okay. Because it's a matter of whether they're playing on a show for us and for themselves, or if they're just getting up there and going through the motions.
Yep. And for us, it's like, I wonder sometimes, I'm like, man, do I really, like, the 7th or 8th night in a row I got to put my makeup on? Is it going to, like, do I really need to be doing this? And you get out there and it's like, as soon as you just kind of step foot on that stage, you're like, it's all worth it. Let's go. I'm ready to party. We're going to do this thing. We're going to do it big. Even though it's the 8th night in a row that I'm going to do this, it's totally cool. And I love everything about it. So it's just like, for me especially, it's like, how hard can we go? And that's kind of almost a pun there. How hard can we go? Like, so hard it hurts. Really, like, we're just going to keep pushing it. And we've been very blessed to have this 10-year-long career, almost 3 albums in. And it just keeps going. And it works because of the story, because of the images, because of we're the only band that's out there having fun. And that's really it. It's like that testament. We went and saw David Lee Roth a few weeks back. That big at M3, he did the big comeback.
Right.
It was the coolest thing ever. He killed it. And I go, that's exactly it. That's what we need to do right there, right? The blueprint has been written. Go out there and entertain the people. And the smiles on everybody's faces, like, dude, it was next level. And I go, that's it. That's what we need to do. Just every single night, just continue to do that.
Well, I don't know if I told you last time, but did I tell you my story about David Lee Roth and Van Halen at the US Festival in 1983?
No, I would love to hear it though.
Okay, so I am definitely team Roth when it comes to Van Halen, 100%. And I liked Sammy Hagar without Van Halen.
Sure.
But to me, David Lee Roth was Van Halen, like the whole style, the party band that they were in LA. And I went to the US Festival. It was the first music festival I ever went to. I was 16. I drove. I told my dad.
Was this the one where they had to find him in the Amazon rainforest?
I don't know if they had to find them there, but it was the one where they headlined.
Yeah, and they made like $1 million. They like some astronomical amount of money, right?
Yeah. There was 300,000 people there.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And it was in the desert in California, like in 110 degrees it was.
Yeah.
I had multiple friends pass out in the crowd. They were doing the hoses. That was the beginning of hoses, at festivals. So anyway, and Ozzy played too. Trip, while I was there, I was like way up front in the middle of the sardine can, and somebody like 2 people away from me got stabbed.
Whoa.
And Ozzy came over the speakers and he's telling people, like, chill out, we're all here to have fun, blah, 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 and said all this stuff that was like, here's the Prince of Darkness coming out and telling you to stop being evil. Okay. But basically, okay. But then, so Van Halen comes on, they headline Heavy Metal Day, which is a trip to me in and of itself. If you think about heavy metal today,
right.
Van Halen would be the headliner, like over Judas Priest, over, Ozzy, over all those people, over Quiet Riot, Motley Crue. They were the headliner. And so they're playing Ain't Talking About Love, but Dave's not singing. And Eddie's looking over at him, and Michael Anthony's looking over at him, and finally he just goes, this is what makes him the greatest frontman ever, next to you, of course, but because instead of it being a negative thing, he just yelled to the crowd, I fucking forgot the words with a big smile on his face. 300,000 people roared like they just won the lottery, man. Okay.
I forgot the fucking words. I know
Right.
exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, I was there for it. And then
So cool.
one dude heckled him in the whole crowd. And he just turned to him, typical David Lee Roth. He said, I am going to fuck your girlfriend. And that is rock and roll, my friends.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That it's the attitude. And I still tell people that, you know, this is still the Wild West out here. And being in a rock and roll band, it's still a party. It's still whatever you want to do. You know, anything that you want to do day or night. We're still kind of that uncharted territory out there. And I think that's still a really cool thing. And talking to all of our friends and everybody that are out touring still and still loving it, you know, Enough's Enough and Pretty Boy Floyd, all those great guys that are still out there doing it. Everybody's still so much fun.
No doubt. And listen, you know, I got to give you big props putting on that makeup all the time like that, because that would be a pain in the ass. That's a lot of work. But it just shows you're willing to go that extra mile for the fans.
Yeah,
that's what it shows to me.
I love it, and it's become a trademark, and it's become the thing that we're known for, and really it's like it's a, I don't know how to explain it. It's like almost the Three Musketeers or whatever. Like, we go up there and we're gonna do this, and we're gonna burn it down to the fucking ground no matter what. Like, if there's 3 people there, that's cool too. I'm happy that there's 3 people. If there's 1,000 people there, that's even better, because we're gonna make this fire even fucking bigger. But with this band, it's just like that relentless attitude of like, we're coming no matter what.
I love it. I love it. And, you know, burning it down the ground. I love that term too, because that's what got me here. It's like my first club show ever in LA was the Roxy. And it was Motley Crue before they had an album, and they tried to burn the Roxy down to bring Satan in. Like, that's rock and roll. Like, so you're right up there with all of them.
It's that and this is a really cool thing that the Midnight Devils, we have going for us, and we've always been a big proponent of this. We don't use tracks. When nothing is tracked, it's all live, and it's all, you know, whatever happens out there, like, that is the realness, and that's it. That's what makes it rock and roll.
Yeah, that's the way it should be. Just like what I said with David Lee Roth. Like, nobody gave a shit they forgot the words.
No.
You know, because then you know it's real. Yep. Like, because listen, there's no way, even being on the radio, like, there's times I fuck up and I just pretend I didn't, you know? It's like, you know, you just keep going and you just do it because we're real people. I don't have a script in front of me. I don't have notes in front of me. You're just being real. And that, to me, is what makes rock and roll so great.
You're 100% right. And we've, since day one, have always felt that way, and felt that if we're going to do this, we have to do this as real as possible, because the makeup and the costumes and everything else is so over the top that when you strip all that down and take away all of that, the music and the songs have to be good, and they have to be the heart of it. Yeah. And so it has to be that realness, that these songs happen to us, and the lyrics and the stories, they're all real. Like, we've seen it, like we were talking about, the stuff that's actually happened to us on the road, and take away the makeup, the shows and everything like that. And those songs have to be good, and they have to stand up, and they have to be what people latch onto, and people, they kind of, they feel like they've been through the same things that we have.
Yeah, exactly. So how do people reach out to you guys? How do they check out your music, check out your tour dates, merch, all that good stuff?
Super easy, and we're very active on all of our social media platforms. So we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on X, we're on, you can stream us on Spotify, on Amazon. But more importantly, all of our website stuff, themidnightdevils.com, has our where you can pick up the music, you can buy the CDs, you can buy the vinyl. We have a brand new vinyl that's going to be released pretty soon, which is a green and pink splattered 7-inch vinyl. Because I think 7 inches are like the coolest thing ever. You know, nerds of vinyl collecting. That'll be the next thing coming out in the next few, like, it's in a month or two that'll come out. And then we'll head over to Australia in November. We're working on a cassette right now, like a disco mirrorball cassette.
I love it.
Just stupid stuff that I think is really cool, that, like, if I was a kid, I would want my favorite band, I would want Kiss to put this out. Why would we not do it? Let's do it.
There it is. Well, I love it. And man, I'm jealous. You're going to Australia. That's one I haven't gone to yet.
10 days over there. I think it's 10 shows in 10 days, and this will be our third tour there. But starts in Brisbane on November 20-something, 23rd or so. And the first gig is a boat cruise through Sydney Harbor, where the Midnight Devils are playing with a bunch of other bands. It's like a festival.
Oh, that's way cool.
Yeah,
that's way cool. I love it. You guys rock for sure, and keep giving us great music. And listen, you're almost there because it takes like 20 years to be an overnight success. So
yeah,
you're halfway
10
there.
more years to go, 12 more years to go, but we'll be all right. I got nothing else
thanks
to do.
a lot. There it is. And you know what? You love it, and that's all that counts. And that's what music should be all about.
Absolutely.
Thanks for being on the Adventures of Pipeman.
Thanks, Pipeman. I appreciate it. Thank you for always taking care of us. I really do appreciate it.
Anytime, brother.
All right. Catch you later, dude.
Thank you for listening to the Adventures of Pipeman on W4CY Radio.